Thank you all for participating tonight. We will now begin with an opening statement from Coach Skinner and then go to questions. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Coach Skinner, please give us a brief opening statement, and then we will go to questions.
Well, first of all, credit Washington, for a great season and great staff and preparing that team for them to be in this position after losing a first-team All-American is really tough to do, and they did a great job and put as much serving pressure on our team as we've seen all year, and obviously it was hard for us to handle a lot of the match, but wow, what a mentally resilient performance I thought our team put on today, and really proud of the effort, the toughness to be able to dig out of a hole there in the third set after we had let a big lead get away in the second set. So for us to withstand that and perform even better as the match went on, just proud of our team.
Thank you. Now we will go to questions from the media. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you want to ask a question. When called upon, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question is from Hunter Mitchell. Hunter, you can go ahead.
Craig, I thought Raya Walker did a really nice job coming in off the bench and kind of anchoring you on the back line when y'all were kind of struggling to pass. Can you talk about her performance tonight, just coming off the bench and being able to do that for you guys?
Just phenomenal. She's been performing all year. She's an exceptional serve receiver, and so is Avery. So we really didn't have a need recently. She'd played in the past and done some things, but to step into that moment in the national semifinals and pass 9 balls and pass a 2.5 basically on her 3-point scale is off the chart. So great job by Raya.
Our next question is from Larry Vaught. Go ahead, Larry.
Rick, when you got down in the third set, kind of what was your message to the team? I mean, you always talk about you believe in them, you're confident of them, and you seem to stay really confident on the sideline. But what was your message to them?
We just had to continue to, play the point, rinse, repeat, and do that over and over again. I thought that we weren't serving very tough. I thought our serves were too high above the net. They needed to be flatter. We needed to create, some more opportunities to get some easier points. Their obvious game plan was to make Madison dig a lot of balls, so that took her out of setting the second ball. And so we had to do a better job of setting, some of those second balls so that we could, kill it at a higher rate. But it just, we adjusted our serving strategy a little bit and adjusted our defense slightly. But it was the players making plays and executing, bottom line.
Our next question is from Dick Gabriel. Go ahead.
Craig, congratulations. And Avery got off to a great start and then hit a rough patch and then finished up really strongly. What was going on there when she was struggling a bit?
Well, not very many teams, really go after her serving like Washington did tonight. And she actually passed okay, but, and then at the end, she was passing and hitting well. She had a great pass to attack in the fourth set, when we needed it. But yeah, she, struggled a little bit and felt that Washington was go after and went away from her strengths and, just encouraged her to, not ever tip a ball unless you absolutely have to, from the, third set on. And she was phenomenal at the end. I don't know how many kills she had in the third and fourth set, but she produced. And it's hard to do when you go through a patch like that.
Our next question will go back to Hunter Mitchell. Go ahead.
Craig, at this point, you only have one more match left with these seniors. Talk about what their impact has been on this program, and what are you going to appreciate most in that final match, getting to watch them in a Kentucky uniform?
Just how much they care about the program. Kendall Paris, didn't play tonight, but she made sure she came up and she said, "I haven't given you a hug yet," after the match, and just the care and the personality and character of people of those four is huge. And you saw the composure of Avery, the way she performed at the end. You saw the composure of Madison and Gabby, throughout the match. And, those are things that are hard to teach, and elite competitors, are good, when the pressure's on, and they were that tonight.
For our next question, we'll go to John Clay. Go ahead, John.
Craig, first of all, congratulations. You haven't, certainly not in this tournament really all year, you haven't been in that situation where you kind of had your back to the wall there in the third set and you were able to turn it around, especially on a stage like this. What does that tell you about this team?
It's impressive, John. Thank you. It is impressive. It's hard. It's really hard because you can feel the momentum shift. You can feel the difference in their intensity, compared to ours when they get you, and steal a set from you. I think, if we weren't in that weekend at Florida on the road, and Florida kind of stole a couple sets from us, and earned them. But you have to know what that feels like, and know you have the ability to respond. And if you think of the big picture and what the situation is, it's hard to respond. If you think about, hey, number 9 is serving right now, she has the ball in her hand, I need to react as soon as the ball leaves her hand, and then Madison's wherever the pass is, I got a hittable ball. If your mindset is that, then you're able to, weather some storms. But if you get too much of the big picture in your mind, you can crumble. But our team showed some serious toughness to get through that.
Our next question will be from John Huang. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Craig, I'm going to wait to congratulate you until after Saturday, but you guys jumped out to such a big lead, and then you got off to a good start, and then it seemed like Washington took the momentum away from you. What were they doing specifically? I know they defended you real well at the net, but what were they doing that caused the momentum to shift like that?
Well, serve. I mean, they have, 6 really good servers. And, typically a team will have 3 or 4 good servers and a couple that you can manage. And, Washington just, each person that goes back there, the passers feel pressure. So it's hard to get an offensive rhythm when that happens. And that, obviously you saw that. And the other thing I thought Washington tried to do was make Madison dig balls. I think she had 14 digs tonight. So when she digs the ball, somebody else has to set it. And, those 2 things were part of their game plan. And, it worked, and luckily we were able to respond and figure out a way.
And Coach Cook was just extremely complimentary about how much your team has improved from last year to this year. I mean, what areas do you think have been the sources of greatest improvement?
Defense, defense and balance. Last year we relied too much on Lee Edmond and Allie Stumler to point score for us. And this year, our offense is much better balanced. I mean, Madison was outstanding. We had 3 players with 13 kills and 1 player with 19 kills to have, and well over 15 kills a set. But going back to defense, Ajani and Elise Getzinger do a phenomenal job of closing the block so the attackers have less seams to hit through. And when you do that, then your diggers behind the block can stay in a certain spot and not have to guess where they're going to attack the ball. So last year we had to rely on Leah and Allie to kill the ball. This year, if our offense isn't going, our defense can pick us up.
For our next question, we'll go to Lincoln Arneal. Go ahead, Lincoln.
Hi, Craig. Lincoln with the World Herald. How big of an accomplishment is this for the program, and how long did it take to enjoy this and celebrate this before turning your eyes to Saturday night?
Well, it's a big accomplishment. I mean, everything from getting the Final Four and beyond is going to be an accomplishment, and it's significant. Our players, you can see the excitement, enthusiasm in these players. I mean, no one's ever going to be able to take this away from them, and for us to be our best against the winner of this next match, we need to enjoy it here for a couple hours while we're watching the match and getting a feel for Wisconsin and Texas, and then tomorrow it's on. We don't have a day, 2 days in between like we did before this match, so we only have a day, and tomorrow we got to spend a lot of time in preparation.
Our next question is from Lee Feinswag. Go ahead, Lee.
Hi, Craig. I know you're not a toot your own horn kind of guy, but could you just address what you must be feeling professionally and personally right now? Because this is pretty good stuff.
Yeah, Lee, it's awesome. It's thrilled, excited. It's hard to get too far ahead of ourselves and show too much excitement because there's such a big task at hand. But again, we've recruited great players. We have a great staff. I sat in this arena in 2006 in the front row and watched Nebraska win the national championship, and recruited some of those players and just dreamed about being in this moment. So for us to be currently living a dream, and for me and our family to live a dream like this is, there's no monetary value or material thing you can put on that. It's fulfillment. When you set out to accomplish something and you're living it, it's fulfilling, for sure. And there's so many people to thank, from Mitch Barnhart administration and, all the coaches and players have been through here, and our current staff is unbelievable. And so they make my job easy.
Thank you.
All right, and that'll wrap it up for Coach Skinner. Thank you, Coach, for your time today.
Thank you.
We will be joined momentarily by Maddie Skinner, followed by Allie Stumler. Please use this time to raise or lower your hand as necessary. We are now joined by Maddie Skinner. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question will be from John Clay. Go ahead, John.
Hey, John Clay with the Lexington Herald Leader. In that, after dropping the second set and then you get behind in the third, how did you guys turn it around after that?
I think the key was just playing our game. Washington is a very great serving team. We struggled with our passing, which typically isn't too much of a problem for us. So that was really tough. But I think Allie coming in and having that huge serving run was really what dug us out of that hole. And then just sticking the course and then just taking whatever came at us.
Our next question is from Larry Vaught. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, Maddie, Larry Bell from PulseViews.com. Just what was it like there, especially at the end when Avery was just on fire, putting the match away from you? I mean, did you kind of catch yourself thinking, hey, that's my big sister, or what?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I got a little teary-eyed. I'm her biggest fan. I want her to succeed in every aspect of life. So just seeing her go off on the court was so exciting, and it made me so proud. And it was just really exciting to kind of have her shine in that moment. And she was a crucial part of us getting this win tonight. And so that's so awesome, and I'm so happy for her.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Dick Gabriel. Go ahead, Dick.
Dick Gabriel with the SEC Network. Maddie, this was the biggest match in UK program history, as you obviously know. And there was a point where Washington was a couple of points from really taking control. That said, what was going on during the timeouts when you all went over and looked at Craig for guidance? And it was a situation you guys really didn't know that well because of all your success this year.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing we talked about was just embrace the challenge, embrace the battle. And again, we just stuck the course. And no matter what came at us, we just dealt with it the best that we could. And people stepped up in crucial moments, and that was just key for us. But really just coming in and just leaning into each other and knowing that we're each going to take care of our responsibility, and that's just going to get us through the match. That was definitely the biggest thing for us during those timeouts.
Our next question is from Lincoln Arneal. Go ahead, Lincoln.
Maddie, who was doing the talking? Was it Coach Skinner? Was it the players? Who was doing the talking during those timeouts to tell you to stay the course and kind of believe in yourselves during those crucial moments?
I think it's a mix of everyone. We're all super comfortable with each other. So we had freshmen, sophomore, junior, senior. Everyone just kind of, when you have something and you feel like you need to share it with the team, you say it. And first off, obviously we listen to Craig and Anders and their feedback. But whenever you have those few moments of silence and we're just kind of staring at each other, it's usually Mads or Gabby or Avery or someone that will step up and be like, "Hey, we got this. Hey, let's try this instead of doing this." And again, just stick the course, do what you know to do, and we'll be okay.
Where does that mentality come from? I mean, you've had one tough match against Florida this year too. I mean, or a tight match, I should say. Where does that mentality come from to be able to withstand such adverse moments?
I mean, we have a lot of different people on the team that can do great things, and we've been telling ourselves when we get to the Final Four, when we get to the championship match, so it's something we've been talking about from day one, and so it breeds confidence, and we each have confidence in each other, which just allows us to do our job and just to play our heart out, and that gets us through the match.
Thank you.
Our next question is from John Huang. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Maddie, John Huang, NOLA Media, Just the Cats. Great players make great plays. Can you describe the one or two greatest plays that you saw out on the court there tonight?
The first one that comes to mind would have to be whenever there's a block touch, and Allie had a one-hander, and it kind of went off the court, and Gab chased after it, went all for it, and we ended up losing the point, but that obviously gave us momentum because we were able to pick it up in the next few points, and it's just big plays like that that really get the bench going, get the girls on the court going, and even though we lost it, I think that really helped build our momentum.
Yeah, how much confidence does that give you, knowing that anybody out there on the court can make a great play at any time?
Yeah, it's awesome, and we tell each other in practice, in matches, you go for it. Even if you obviously are not going to get it, you still dive and you still go for it, because there's a couple of balls where you'll have a tip and you'll be like, oh, I don't know if I can get it, and you'll go for it and you'll get it up. So we always tell each other, even if you don't think you're going to get it, go for it, and Gab did that, and she had a great up.
All right, that'll wrap it up for Maddie. Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you, guys.
Next up, we will have Allie Stumler. Please use this time to lower or raise your hand as necessary. You're now joined by Allie Stumler. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. We'll go ahead and start with Larry Vaught. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, Alec, congratulations. I want to ask you something, not exactly about the match, but when I saw the video of today when it was announced that Madison was Player of the Year and Craig was Coach of the Year, saw some emotion from the two of them that we normally don't get to see very much. Did it surprise you how emotional they got when they heard about that?
I don't think so. It's so deserving of them, and I think you work so hard, and this team's worked so hard, especially them too. Madison has been phenomenal. Obviously, Player of the Year, SEC Player of the Year, just so many accolades, and it's so deserving. So I think when you put that much work into it, it just really is emotional, and you get just flooded with all the emotions, and all the hard work is finally paying off. And same with Craig. He put so much time and effort into this team, and he sacrifices a lot to be with us. So I definitely think emotions were expected and definitely deserved.
Our next question will be from Dick Gabriel. Go ahead, Dick.
Speaking of emotion, Allie, this thing was close to getting away from you. How did you guys keep your cool?
Yeah, I think just keeping composure, and we talk all the time about just focusing on the next point. We were down, I think, 12-17 at one point when I looked, and then 22-16 maybe. So they always had the lead a little bit in the second set, and the third set. And so we were really just focused on, okay, how can we focus on getting 13? Now, how can we focus on 14? And so it really was a big jump for us, but I think it was so important for us to kind of be pushed. We went into that fourth set knowing, okay, we have the confidence now that we can overcome big leads. We can overcome anything with this group. We knew that coming in, but really being pushed and being forced to kind of step out of our comfort zone, not knowing like, okay, well, they could win this set and now we're down 2-1. So, it really just makes you, like I said, step out of that comfort zone and kind of lean into your team. So tons of emotion, and just I think it really just was a moment where we could build confidence with each other.
So how do you keep your cool now for 48 hours?
I don't want to keep my cool. I'm stoked right now. Kind of just ride the wave for a little bit, and then tomorrow we're gonna get down into it. Kind of tonight we're gonna watch this match, and then tomorrow we're gonna do our scouting, do our homework. Keep up with our bodies, make sure we're getting sleep, recovery, all those things. But yeah, just doing what we've done the whole time. This whole trip, it was a business trip, and we're here to take home the trophy at the end of it. And the end is in sight, so we're just gonna keep our eyes focused on that and know that we're so close, and just keep doing what we're doing.
Our next question will be from Hunter Mitchell. Go ahead, Hunter.
Ellie, you guys had a match earlier this year where you all had won the first set against Florida, had a big lead late in the second set, and Florida came back and won that set, and then eventually won the match. And tonight, the same kind of thing happened here against Washington. What did you guys learn from that match to then, put into this match and not let that happen again on the biggest stage?
Yeah, you're exactly right. We had been in that moment before, and it didn't go the way we had planned, which I think adds some fire and fuel under us to know, okay, we have felt this feeling before, and we know what it feels like to be on the back end of it, which is obviously not where we want to be. So that kind of added some fire, and just, I think also confidence. Like, we knew, okay, we can fight back. Even though we did end up losing to Florida that first night, I think we fought hard, and it ended up being like 15-12, and there was a big lead. And so even though it didn't end the way we wanted to, I think at that moment also built confidence to know that, okay, if we're in this position again, which we were tonight, that we can overcome it, and we can take leaps and bounds to overcome the lead and then end up with a win. So that moment definitely built confidence for us, and I think just gave us, the momentum to know that we can overcome it.
Our next question will be from John Clay. Go ahead, John.
Craig was saying that Washington, their obvious strategy was to make Madison dig when more dig, so she couldn't set up. When that happens, what adjustments did you guys make in your game?
Yeah, I think that obviously setting, behind the setter, their offense, they did that quite a bit, and it was scoring. It was pretty efficient behind the setter. So I think, I know for me and Avery, we just talked about setting up our block a little bit differently to take away that shot that they were more comfortable hitting. We got a little bit better as the match went on. But yeah, I think we have great out-of-system setters, whether that's Gabby, Lauren, Raya, no matter who it is. We have people who can handle the ball, which makes it awesome. Whenever your setter does get taken out, most teams hit maybe negative numbers or really low, but I think our team's numbers are really high for playing at this level. So up against a really good block. Obviously, when things are out of system, it's going one of two places, and the left sides get a lot of balls in those moments. So there's usually really good forehands in front of you. So having just any player who can out of system set the ball and handle it with confidence and ease just definitely makes it a lot easier and have a lot more confidence when Madison does dig the ball.
Next question will be from Lincoln Arneal. Go ahead, Lincoln.
Lincoln Arneal from the Omaha World Herald. During the end of that third set, I think you all went a 9-1 run to close it out. Avery had 5 kills during that stretch. How much fun was it to watch her kind of take over and really take over the game and just kind of exert her will to lead you all back?
Absolutely. It's so awesome just to see other people succeed, but especially her. She puts so much time and energy into this game, and I know it's been hard for her. She hasn't had an easy journey, but this year she has really given her whole self to this team, and not sure maybe how it's going to work out, but she's been battling some injuries and kind of her body. So she really just gives herself to this team day in and day out, and so it's just awesome to see her succeed and get the accolades and awards that she deserves. So yeah, definitely putting up huge numbers right now, which is awesome.
Our final question will be from Larry Vaught. Go ahead, Larry.
Hey, Allie, I know you said you were already stoked right now. But what's it make you feel like if I tell you that there's a volleyball watch party planned at Memorial Coliseum Saturday night? Did you ever think you'd see something like that at Kentucky for volleyball?
It's crazy. That's so awesome, and I'm just so thrilled that people, I say it all the time. I've been saying it a lot these last few weeks, or I guess this last week, but heads are turning, and that's so cool to be a part of something that, not only for Kentucky, but for women's sports and just our program in general that people are noticing. And I think that's awesome that people are really starting to buy in and see that volleyball, one, is an amazing sport, but these girls on the court are even cooler and even more special. So that's awesome. And I'm so happy and just thrilled and honored that there are people who are taking time to support us, tune in, and really pay attention to our team because they're awesome and gonna keep making history.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Allie, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you all for participating tonight. You can find a recording of this press conference in the